Welcome to our practice for next week, week 11. Still shaking off the effects of the cold I'm having, so we won't be pushing as hard as we can tonight. Just getting a bit of practice done for next week so that we arrive at the track at least ready to race. So we'll jump into the production card SimLab challenge first. It's running at Road Atlanta next week. So just get that up. So week 11, we're at Road Atlanta, the short course. So just been racing that this week in the Audi as well, which is the full track. Short course really suits the Ford, so let's jump in. And we'll just align the pedal cam again because I accidentally kicked the camera. Let's get that done. Testing a few different brake profiles as well, so we'll be adjusting them as the night goes on.
Pit lane speed limit is 72 kilometers per hour.
This thing on cold tires just all over the place. Let's just first get some temp in the tires before we start pushing. No, she's still too cold. What's the temp? See, what is the track temperature? iRacing's going a bit nuts again. my battle app I wrote for this doesn't seem to allow me to get any details until I'm actually able to register a lap first, so let me do that. Oh man, it's feeling really dodgy. I don't know, maybe it's just setup I haven't got right and dialed in yet. Oh, moments. Oh, having I need to lift so eventually on this. Just can't get in the on the power as early as I would like. Just really just wants to step out the whole time. The rear feels loose and the front feels light, so interesting how to maneuver this car around here.
That lap was a 106.1.
That turns a little better now. Temperature is definitely starting to pick up. Usually takes about 3 laps before the cars get to the optimal grip. Yeah, so the track's also very cold. It's 21 degrees, which is probably why it's taking so long for the tires to get their temp up. You can see it's already starting to grip a little bit better now.
You've just done a 104.9. Sector 1 time's okay.
As you can see, our grip's already much better.
That lap time was 104.0.
Braking a little bit early still. You move that braking mark a little bit forward, just purely because the tires are now gripping properly. So you can expect that the first lap or so, people
Sector 1 time is good.
probably be killing themselves, and from there on it should be a lot of nice and close racing. Still a bit off the best lap time. Oh, that's too greedy. Way too greedy on that one.
Mind these track limits, please, Jacques.
Let's move our braking marker forward now on this one. Yeah, definitely can definitely can break there at that point now. Just spun the tires a little bit out of that corner too early on the too quickly in on the power there.
Sector 2 time is good. Your lap time was at 103.8.
Once the tires up to temperature, you can definitely be a little bit more brave through there.
Sector 1 is quick.
Just picking up the pace progressively as we go.
Your sector 2 time is quick. You've just done a 103.4.
Yeah, I just couldn't hold that much as I want to. Just carrying a little bit too much speed in there. Definitely get down to a 102.
Sector 1 time's okay.
Yeah, you should just lose too much drive going down the third there. Because I was definitely up by a very big margin there. Just trying to find a way of carrying more speed through there. Might just be simpler staying in third, really. Really need to try and eke the pace out of this car by carrying speed into the corner.
Sector 3 is 0.3, slower than your best.
Yeah, it was a bit...
we need to watch these track limits.
Yeah, a little bit greedy there. That little blind apex there is always hard to jump. That's almost better. And let's see if I can play around with the setup a little bit specific to the track. That's better, just a little bit more patient on the throttle in. Definitely carry a lot more speed through. But the problem is that we then hit the tires up a little bit too much. Getting into the second and third corners. Yeah, let's go second gear just to help it turn in, and then quick shift into third. You're definitely getting more speed through there out of that corner then. Let's try and see if we can break a 103.
You've just done a 104.3. That puts you 0.9 off your best.
Not this lap. Rest feels very loose.
Your last lap time was at 103.9. Sector 3 time is fast. That lap was at 103.4. Sector 3 time's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Jack, you need to watch the track limits.
Let's have a look at setup first. Because I feel we can definitely break a 103 here. So firstly, this is our Daytona setup. Let's jump into a road Atlanta setup. So what we really want to try and do is bring down the stiffness in the back, just to help the tires to cope with the extra power. And we just drop it down 2 clicks. Just drop the front preload as well, because that is very high. So I adjusted the rears. It'll also adjust the fronts. Okay, cool. I don't want to take the soft and the roll bar because then we can't actually adjust the preload. Let's put our brake bias a little bit further forward and bring our toe in up a bit. Let's try it. I'm going to have a look at what the rear does now. Let's get tire temps up first. First lap doesn't really count, we're just trying to get tires up to temp first.
You're outside of track limits there.
Want to try and hug that inside as much as you can, shorten the distance on track.
Watch the track limits, please, Jacques.
Not up to temperature yet. Now we do need to work on a qualifying setup that will allow us to get in those 103s really early on. This is always a competitive race, so and there's two big areas of drafting, so we really do need to have a solid setup going into this one.
Kozagaming 10.
Oh man, haven't had any luck yet. I'm just tuning the main race setup and then we'll do a qualifying one. But I think with the track temps as they are, it's probably just starting with extra 10 or so psi of tire pressure, just to help the centers come up quicker. Because we basically have 3 laps, a warm-up lap plus 2 laps of qualifying. So we want to try and get the tire pressures to around about the point they would have been on lap 3.
Kozagaming 10.
Yeah, it is absolutely. And it takes a while, especially for the tires when the track's this cold. Just try the tire.
That
Track
lap
temp
time
is
was 103.4. You're less than a
20
tenth off
degrees
your own
at the
pace.
moment. Just trying to carry that speed as much as we
Kozagaming
can.
10.
But the rear feels a little bit better after the last changes.
Sector 1 time is good.
I feel I can definitely throw the rear around a little bit more and have that confidence of the tires sticking with me. Oh, that's definitely much better. Oh, you can throw this car around all over the place.
Sector 2 is a tenth off your best.
Yeah, it's much better into the corner now. Almost near that.
That lap was at 103.2. Sector 3 time is quick.
Sorry. You have to finesse it so much at the edge of grip, so it is always fun trying to get the most out of this car, because it is a V8, but it's not a really high powered V8. It's not like the Cadillac. Yeah, definitely getting out of that corner a lot better now. Oh, we're so close.
Your lap time was 103.1. Sector 3 time is quick.
And I screwed it up. So now have a look at what the tyre
This lap
pressures
will be
are now.
invalidated. Watch the track limits.
Just as a note for our qualifying setup. Because there was a 4-lap run. Let's see. A 5-lap run. So let's have a look at our tyres. About 216, 202, 15. So 215 to 16 on the left. 200 on the right would be good for a qualifying setup. Let's go start with a 210. I'll start just a little bit shorter than the actual pressure. It's more just for our reference in the qualifying. Okay, cool. See, this preload's still very high. Like 1.2. So let's see how much I can actually drop that down. One small change to make there. Just resetting these to what they were for the last session. So I can get higher camber if I reduce the caster, but I really want to get the feel of the car. So it's a tricky balance. Let's see. We'll run a few laps and see, once we're up to temperature, whether or not the settings allow us to at least run a few consistent laps before the tires start trying to kill us. See, that's the part I'm worried about when it's cold, because it becomes a drift setup. See if that's just a symptom of the last lap, or whether it's a permanent fixture. Yeah, no, the rear doesn't like that. Doesn't really like it, does it? Let's just get tire teams up first and see. No, now the front doesn't want to grip.
Okay, Jack, we need to watch these track limits.
Let's try and avoid the wall. That's always a good start. It is an absolute monster to try and pull around on
You need to
cold
slow down a
tires.
bit if you don't want a penalty.
You can see, it really doesn't want to stick on the cold setup. Just trying to find a balance where you can still drive the car lap one and have a great setup for the rest of the race, because it's just two different machines to drive on cold tires, and once the tires get really nicely up to temp, you want your setup solid then, because that's where you find pace. If I lose 5 seconds the first lap, purely because I trying to get the tires up to temp, that's probably a worthwhile sacrifice to make there. Let's just see. Let's just get up to temp first, and then I'll see what we do. We're also trying not to push it too hard, because
Sector 2 is
I'm still
0.3
feeling the
off your
after
best.
effects of having to deal with the cold most of this week.
That was a 104.0. You're now 0.8 off your best. Sector 2 is 0.3 off your best. That last lap was a 103.9. You're currently 0.7, slower than your best. Sector 1 is quick. Sector 2 time is okay. You've just done a 103.3. Sector 3 is 0.2 off your best. Track limits, this lap will be deleted.
Wow. Yeah, it definitely feels so much better once the time temps are up. Like I said, the first few laps is just a dog. It doesn't want to drive, it doesn't want to turn. Wants to slide, but once it gets the tires up, so much fun to drive. If I can keep it on the track.
Okay, Jack, we need to watch the track limits. They'll invalidate this lap. Track limits. Sector 1 time is good.
Yeah, okay, so I think I'm reasonably happy with this. Being able to run half an hour on it easily.
Your last lap time was at 103.7. Sector 3 is 0.3 off your best. Sector 1 is 0.3 off your best. Sector 2 is 0.2 off your best. That lap was at 103.9. Sector 3 is 0.3, slower than your best. That was a 104.4. You're currently 1.2 seconds off your best.
Okay.
Watch the track
We're
limits,
making mistakes
please,
here,
Jack.
so let's jump into the setup. I want to see what it looks like in the tire life. Just want to run a few laps regardless and see what it looks like tires wise. So we definitely seem to be right on the right place with the tire usage. Car feels reasonably good to drive at that point. So it's just surviving lap 1, I think. That'll be a challenge for us. Well, while we do this, let's quickly look at that qualifying setup. Let's just save it anyway. Okay, let's look at our qualifying. I just want to make that a same adjustment here. With this one, I'm actually just going to keep it at 60. And yeah, I think we're good with that. Let's run this with the right amount of fuel. That's where. Okay, let's give it a quick go, and then we'll jump into the next car. Oh, it's slidey, really slidey, but I sort of expected that. I'm having to catch it quite a bit. But it is more drivable this way. Might just drop that rear rebound a little bit on my race setup just to make the car a little bit more stable. The front doesn't grip well. So you're still going to struggle that first lap. At least you can make it around. You're still going to not have a good lap time.
Sector 1 is 0.9, slower than your best.
But that's your banker lap done then. And then we're third lap, you'll basically get your best lap in then.
Sector 2 is 0.4, off your best.
Really better gripping there through that sector now.
That lap was a 104.8. Sector 3 is 0.3, off your best. Sector 1 time's okay. Sector 2 is a 10th off your best.
So that's the fastest third lap I've done in a while.
That lap was a 103.4. You're now 0.3, slower than your best.
I think that is definitely a reasonably good qualifying lap, given the track temp. I'm going to adjust the qualifying setup if the track temp is a little bit higher than
Sector 1 is 0.3, off your best.
Just want to pull into the pits and see what our track temps are. Might need to drop them a little bit more.
Watch your speed limit in the pits. Activate limiter.
Okay, so 78 degrees inner, 81 in this inside. Right fronts are definitely a little slower going up to temp, but that's expected. 245, 246, 221. Yeah, we could drop them a little bit. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, we'll keep it there. Yeah, let's see if it this way for that for the race. Let's see, our crossfire is 51. Okay, I think we're ready with our setups. Let's jump into the next series. Global Fanatec is running. So we're in the road course. Okay, I haven't done this one in a while. Oh, this is the one with that stupid little bend there. Okay. I haven't driven this in track in many, many years. Well, a little while anyway. This is a fixed setup, so we shouldn't need to change anything.
The pit lane speed limit is 64 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, I haven't done this one in a while. Let's just get reacquainted with the track first. But about that little one there. Yeah, it's a weird configuration. I haven't driven in a while because we usually do a little bit more on the back straight. Yeah, I just missed that. That's the part you have to turn in for.
Black flag will need to come into the pits to serve it.
Yeah, I know.
You've got 3 laps to serve this penalty.
Yeah, I'll use those 3 laps just to first get reacquainted with the track. You can actually run into that concrete there quite easily. That's all you need to. And that's the pit. Is that the pit entry? Yep, it seems to be the pit entry. We need to get our brake marker sorted. This track is a really crappy setup and layout, so don't go back into second gear. Why did you do that? Let's just put the lines on just so we make sure we're actually riding the right part of the course.
You've had a black flag. We'll need to come into the pits. Limiter's still on. Disengage it.
It's one of those tracks that it's could take a while to learn. There's not too many proper visual kills you can use. You have stuff. Just trying to use those curves as much as we can. And this one you can carry the speed. Try and get used to this track again. I haven't run this in fields for such a while. This little thing here is going to get so many people out. Especially because of the way that little bend runs. Definitely not optimal. I prefer the other one where you come out to the 10, 3 and 4 of the oval track. It's quite a lot nicer because there you get some good downforce and some nice passing opportunities. I think that little bend there really just robs you of a lot of that, so we'll see. I also suspect we'll probably end up not having a lot of official races for this car class at this track, because a lot of people firstly own it, that own the free content, and secondly, it is a dog's breakfast to get used to.
Your lap time was a 1:31.2. Good lap. That's your quickest today. This lap won't count. You've cut the track.
Yeah, this car's got a very bad thing in the setup, I think, somewhere where it does a double shift sometimes. I think the debounce on the gear changes are too quick. The problem is, if I listen to debounce, then it's for every car, which is a pain in the ass, which then also causes me to lose shift time on some of the other cars where I really want to be able to do quick downshifts and stuff, just to accommodate this car. So yeah, I try and always catch it when it happens, but I'm not going to change the global settings just for that. Starting to get the hang of it, so we may be able to turn our lines off again soon. And this car you have to rev match, otherwise the rear diffs will lock and you'll end up facing the wrong direction. So yeah, it's starting to feel like a better lap now.
Your lap time was
So we're back at the 500
1:29.
marker.
That's your quickest lap in this session. Sector 1 is quick.
Yeah, let's get on the curb. That's a good thing. Let's get on the curb. And have a few look at the lines. Let's have a few look at the different corner lines and stuff. That doesn't seem too bad. Can't get in these curbs as much as you'd like. They just don't have the level of grip you'd expect them to have. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid that curb because it actually unsettles the car. You can go around it without losing much speed. Braking at this little break in the concrete on the right. I'm going to try and get about a little bit earlier through there, but I think then I'll probably just stick to second gear. Usually braking at the 300 marker purely just because this is a big monster, it takes a while to get slowed down. Yeah, I think you could take a little bit of wider line there, as long as you don't run into the wall. Should be good. External lines off and give it one more go. See how we do now that we don't have lines to distract us. One more thing. Yeah, it's quite high. Gonna go to a 52.6. Helps the car slow down a little bit more without unbalancing it too much. I think I'm turning in that corner way too early, so that's what happens when you don't rematch.
Sector 1 is 0.3, off your best. That lap time was 1:30.2. That puts you 0.3 off your best.
Too quick on the throttle there. Yeah, just getting on the power too early there. Definitely overdriving the car way too much there through that section. Actually, I'm overdriving the car quite a bit through most sections.
Sector 1 time's okay.
I need to straighten that corner out a little bit. Well, I was actually asking
Sector 2 time is good.
too much of a tire so there. It's a bit of lap. Still not great, but better.
That lap time was 1:29.2. That's your quickest lap. Sector 1 time is good. Your sector 2 time is quick.
There's two big system in there, and it just starts to change the surface, which scratches you off a second.
You've just done a 129.7. You're now 0.5, slower than your best.
I really don't want to hit that curve on the way in, so we need to drive around it.
Sector 1 is quick. Sector 2 is 1/10 off your best. That last lap was a 129.4. Sector 3 time's okay.
We can definitely do mid-29.
You've just done a 129.6. Sector 3 is 0.4, slower than your best.
Yeah, I suspect we won't get many official races at the track anyway next week, so let's focus on the Audi for now. Let's see, where are we in the Audi next week? Fiji, oh yeah, gonna be interesting, and then VIR the week after. VIR is the track I despise the most. I really despise that track because it's a track that so many off-camera corners and undulations that usually just you don't survive the race. And they usually have very weird and wonderful layouts that they run in as well for the TCR races. Let's do Fiji first.
Pit lane speed limit is 60 kilometers per hour.
Oh. They're running a stupid little heap in here as well. And this is that's too early on the turn in. Start at the 150 board first up, and then we'll move our brake marker a little bit forward as they get used to the car.
That was a 153.10.
Still messing up on that corner entry. Need to brake a little bit earlier there. But for the most part, I think I've got the rest reasonably sorted already. Need to get that little chicane sorted. I think we're not needing that much practice. I've run to this guy here before, so I know reasonably well what my pit lap time is. I'm going to minimize the amount of track distance around here. Let's break at this concrete marker. Much better.
Sector 2 time is okay.
Definitely get under a 151.
Your lap time was 151.03. Sector 1 is quick. Sector 2 time is quick. The track temp's increasing. It's now 38 Celsius.
I'm definitely overdriving that corner, trying to carry too much speed, and it's just causing the car to understeer. Still a better lap, but yeah, I think
that lap time was 150.68.
That's too greedy.
Alright, Jacques, we need to watch these track limits.
So you can see fourth gear, you understeer less, and you definitely carry more speed through.
Sector 1 is a 10th off your best. Sector 2 time is okay.
Yeah, I think a good lap will break 150. I think we're reasonably close to that now. Yeah.
That lap time was 150.21. Now delete this lap, you've cut the track.
Yeah, my CSLDD is suffering the CSLDD disconnection issue. I might actually be sending it back this week. Get a replacement done by Fanatec. Because Disney's still acting up. I missed that apex by a mile. Just a little bit too wide there.
Mind these track limits, please, Jacques.
Yeah, make a little mistake, so I really don't need to. See if we can do a proper lap now. Not that way. Not if we miss our brake marker by 10 meters. Yeah, I'm just pushing hard.
You'll need to give back the
Pushing
time gained.
way too hard. While we are on the track like that, I want to see how much of that we can take before we can get on off track. Also want to see up front here. So we can take a lot of the first curve. Obviously not so much of the second curve. Okay. Okay, if it's a teen lap, definitely not a fast one though. You can definitely break 150. We have to be able to break 150 because the time is definitely there.
150.72. Sector 3 time is fast. Sector 1 time is good.
Yeah, so
okay,
that
Jack,
one you have to
watch the track limits.
Yeah, you have to keep 2 tires on the tarmac, okay? Now we know where that limit sits. Same there, you need to keep your tires on track. Yeah, you have to have so many things just go right to get that a perfect lap. I'm surprised that's not a slowdown.
Sector 1 time's okay.
Come on, can we break it? Come on! Yes!
That was a 149.94.
That is with 16 liters remaining, so just about half a tank. I'm happy that we broke 149. Barely, but we broke it. Let's have a look at that fastest lap. See where we can still gain a bit of time. So we're braking just as we hit the 150 board. Probably can go a little bit further left before we start braking. So lost about a tenth through there. Bleeding off the brakes as we get to the corner. Yeah, I missed that apex by somewhat. So we're braking. We were braking a little, probably about 2 meters too late. We can use a little bit more of this curbing on the way through just to carry more speed. That little yellow item on the right there, little board, that's a brake marker. That is so close to an off track. 2 wheels on the red and whites, I think is where the line is. Braking just before the 50. And yeah, we could have taken a little bit more of that curb. As I said, there's always more time to find in order to get that lap just right. Start braking just as we hit the orange bar on the right. Car's a little bit unstable braking through here. Trying to take as much as we can. Sticking as long as 2 wheels are still in the red and white. Should be good. Same there. We could have taken a little bit more of that. Trying to take as much as we can without getting onto the grass and losing all our momentum. A little bit of a just a brush brake just to get the car to turn. Using as much track as we can on the way out. As long as you're 2 wheels on the red and white, you're good. A little bit of just a brush brake just to get the fronts to turn into third. Could probably take a little bit more of that curb. And I don't want to get too much on this curb, it just unsettles the car, so I think we got out there reasonably well. I think I'm reasonably happy with this.
The track temperature is decreasing. It's now 36 Celsius.
Yeah, and that's on a medium track temperature, so I think we should be good. Hopefully, track temps won't be too high here, because one thing I've noticed with the Audis, if the track temps are too high, they're about a second and a half sometimes slower than the other cars, which obviously isn't great if you're trying to be competitive. But ultimately, if track temps are like mid-30s to mid-20s, we should be good to go for a fair race. But anything more than that is probably going to be an issue. We'll just see how well we can do. The one thing I do like about the Audi, if you can get it to start properly, it definitely has some of the best capabilities from us. But at the same time, if you're a second a lap slower than everybody else, it doesn't take them long to catch up. I think with that, I think I'm probably going to call it a night. I do feel the body ache's coming back, so get a bit of rest before the next week starts and have ourselves in better shape for a competitive race next week. Before we do that, let's just have a look at where we are in the current standings. Let me just get that set up. So in the Audi, we didn't do too well this season. We're 36th in our division. Out of 500 drivers, probably not bad, but not great. Third in Australia on our division. Fifth in Australia across all divisions out of 300 drivers. So top 5 still, I'm not unhappy with that. We still have a week of racing before we get our final points. And the guy who's actually in front is only in front by 230 points. So there's half a chance we could potentially at least move ourselves into that top 3rd position. Well, there we go. And if we look at ourselves across the whole world, we're 105th out of 4,000 drivers. So, like I said, I still have a week to run to get my total count up. There's still some potential points to get out there, so I could still break into the top 60 actually, because there's not a big difference between where I am and like the top 50 positions, like 180 points or something. But this season didn't do too well in the touring car series, purely because of the difference in the balance of power between the new Hyundais. Because iRacing does this sometimes, and I don't know why. I think it's one of their worst traits is that the new cars will always be faster than the existing cars for the same series. So they can sell more. Obviously, it's a cash-based model for them. They sell the usage rights to those cars. So ultimately, they want to try and recover their investment, thereby getting everybody to buy the new car. And then by season 2 or 3, usually the balance of power just returns back to a fair race for everybody. I'm not going to spend money on buying another touring car purely because I already have one. So I'll stick around and wait until the balance of power starts evening out, and then you'll definitely start doing better. So have a look at the SimLab series. So in our division, we're sitting 16th overall, 600 plus points, only having 24 incidents. We had 11 wins, 300 points behind the guy right up front. He's really, really good, really fast. There's Mr. Matt Malone as well, another streamer on YouTube. And the guy I compete with very often, Mr. Mike Nycombe, sitting about 100 points ahead of him. So very good position for us. If we look at where we sit across Australia and New Zealand, we're sitting 5th overall. Still some room for improvement. If we can get some good points next week, we could potentially get ourselves in that top 3. If I get 100 points or so, I should be able to move myself into the top 3, which is where I really want to be, but happy to be in the top 5 at the moment. Very competitive class. And in the whole of the world, we're in the top 30, so not too bad. Really do want to try and get back into the top 20 or top 15, but I don't think that's going to happen this season. Just having it really started off well, but I've had a few weeks where really low strengths of field, so we're just driving against other drivers that are weaker than we are, and we ended up not scoring. We ended up having wins, but not scoring higher points, because the higher the strength of field, the better points you get. So you can see somebody like this, having done 48 races, they've got 1,000 points out of 33 wins. So I had, as I mentioned, I had 20 starts, 11 wins. I had all of my races in the top 5, so gives you an idea. Average start of first place, average finish between 1 and 2. So gives you an idea of the fact that we're winning the races. We're just not winning them against strong enough competition, because those people aren't racing with us. Because I race from all over the world, I may actually find more competitive races in different time slots. It's unfortunately just not the time slots I'm racing at the moment. But it's all good. And then Global Fanatec. Running in the Cadillac. We're 18th overall in our division, Division 2. Once again, 10 races. We only won 3, but we were top 5 almost all of our races. We had only 1 pole position, and we're starting average on 4th place and finishing on the podium. So quite happy with that. We're sitting around about 100 points off where I wanted to be. So I'm lucky to be at about 790, which will put me there, thereabouts, which is really where I was aiming for, around 900 points for the season. So we'll see how we go. And then if we look at Australia and all our divisions, I'm sitting 3rd overall, tied with Paul Taylor, who's a Division 1 driver, so he's quite a bit better than I am usually. So if we can get another 50 or 60 points, we could be first in the last few weeks. So not that far off. As I said, I'd really like to get to 800 points by end of season, but we'll see how we go. And then in the whole of the world, we're sitting 30th out of 5,000 drivers. So not a bad result. And if we get ourselves into that 790 range, we'll be in the top 15. Give you an idea. So that's the difference. That 100 points is a difference between 30th and 15th. So yeah, Going to be interesting final 2 weeks. Hopefully, I will be back again on Tuesday night around about 6 p.m. Where we'll be jumping into the Ford first up. We'll then see whether we get an official race in the Fanatec Global Series because, as always, last few weeks the participation is just atrocious. But hopefully, we'll get some. And given that's that racetrack out in Indianapolis, I'm doubtful that we're going to get those. So I may not actually be able to increase my position in the next 2 weeks. So let's see where the final week is. Let's just check the schedule. Let's see where the final weeks are. So for the Audi, it's VIR. I really don't want to run this race. Running Road Atlanta. Yeah, I love that. That track is really good for the CTS-V. That's the one I was practicing the Ford at, but it's a full course, not the shortened course that we're running tonight. Really great for that for a car because it allows it to stretch its legs. Checking what the final week is for Fanatec. So for the Some Labs Production Car Challenge. So Oran Park, short track, one of my favorite tracks. Unfortunately, not available in real life anymore, but a really good, fun little track to have a competitive race in. With the multi-class nature of the series, we run against 3 other classes. So we run against Mazda MX-5s, which around this track are about second a lap slower. We also run against VW Jettas, so about a second and a half to 2 seconds slower than we are on this. And then we also have that little Pontiac, which is a useless little car, but nonetheless it's still in the series. So because it's part of the free content, which is about 7 seconds a lap slower than almost everybody else. So we'll be lapping cars right about all race long, and that is always fun, managing traffic and managing the slower classes and passing them cleanly while racing. So it'll be a fun finale for the season, and hopefully, if things go well in the next 2 weeks, we'll potentially get ourselves a few additional spots and points. But I hope you enjoyed tonight's practice. As I mentioned, we'll be back on Tuesday around about 6 p.m. And I hope you'll join me then. And as always, I will see you on track.